told me to do. I want to disobey for 2 minutes. I want to introduce my colleagues, and maybe they can come and tell us what they do at the PPRA, and then I'll continue.
Good afternoon. My name is Wedi Makena. I work with PPRA in the communication department. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Kuplangat, file number 15431, class of 2022. How are you? Thank you. Chaka House is my house. So I also work in PPRA under Corporate Communication Directorate, and we are happy and glad to come back to home, and we are going to interact more. Asanteni sana and Mungu awabariki. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Nancy Wambui. I work for PPRA, Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. I just had one question for Mr. Eden before I even continue. When the keynote speaker speaks first, and then we come at his place, I'm asking this for myself and my colleague. Do we become the keynote speakers? So I'll take the position of the deputy because she's coming last. I hope there's a position of deputy keynote speaker. That is why it was brought down there. Now, my biggest worry is when you now become the second pastor, in the words of Elishiba, you look like you're coming to say, I concur. Yeah, I agree. I second. Because now, whatever I had prepared, I had to really quickly shift. Especially when Elishiba was talking, I wondered, and I related what happened to me to what happened to a senior government official last week. The government official was supposed to give a State of the Nation address someday in the evening last week. And then before that happened, someone who is not even in the government came and told us, atatuambia hii na hii. Now, Elishiba, is it that my colleagues leaked my... But you did a good thing, because I'm sure I couldn't have done it better than you. So I really appreciate what you did. And I decided now, because she has done it, and she's done it better than me, I'll stick to my lane, procurement. Right? So, how many guys are procurement officers here? Procurement professionals? How many have done procurement, even if you're not practicing? Guy, kwani amukuambiwa vile hii field iko na utamu? The men in red, I'm here to tell you. But then, please note, yo utamu inasemekananga is not the real thing, right? Yeah, please, if you have been told that procurement is very sweet, it's very lucrative, it's very, I don't know, all those things, please delete that and listen to what I tell you, because it is the real thing, yeah? What you have done may not work when you come to the field. I almost forgot something else before I talk about procurement. I then told you that I have not talked about myself completely, fully when I was introducing myself. There's a bit that I spared for this moment. Starehe alikuwa sponyo wangu. Starehe was my sponsor. Uliwaita sponyo. I was sponsored by Starehe. Now, I didn't have the privilege of coming to Starehe Boys for obvious reasons. But I really used to at that time, not now, I really wished I was a boy, because yeah, just so that I could come to Starehe, nothing else. Because we used to make with Starehe boys, and I could see how they behaved, and I really used to admire them. But then all was not lost, because after Form 4, we formed those groups. We would come here. I was a frequent visitor of that room, coming for money, like pesa. After Form 4, Starehe would give us the upkeep money. So we used to come here and get that money. So this is home, and I'm very happy. It's quite nostalgic coming here after quite a number of years. Yeah. So let me talk about my employer for some time. I said I work for the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. We regulate public procurement. Yeah. That is our work that we do from day to day. And Public Procurement Regulatory Authority is a corporate body. It is a state corporation under the National Treasury. It is corporated by an act that is called Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act, Section 8 of the same. We basically, as I have said, ensure that public entities are doing procurement with fairness, transparency, efficiency, and all that. And when we talk of procurement, I want you to see procurement in a broader way. I haven't seen any procurement professional, but we are talking of our careers, right? So I still want to tell you that if I convince you that procurement is still very sweet, you still have a chance of joining the procurement field, because it is not just buying, right? It's a whole cycle, an ecosystem of so many professionals. Like there's budgeting, there's sourcing, there's contract, there's finance. So if you belong there, then you have a space still in procurement, because we need ICT guys, we need economists, we need engineers, we need lawyers. Yeah, kama wewe ni mtu wa techie, we have techie guys. Yeah, we still have that in procurement. Like recently, the government introduced the electronic government procurement system. So you can still take that and run with it, and you still be in procurement. Kama ni mtu wa numbers, accountants, we have procurement auditors, we have finance guys. Mawakili, we do a lot of contracts in procurement, right? Yeah. We also have dispute resolution. Like in Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, we have a body that is unincorporated within the authority that is called the Review Board, that deals with procurement and disposal disputes. So you can still fit in there. Now, there are those people who don't want to be employed. You don't have to be a procurement, like the fields I've talked about, for you to be involved in procurement, right? You can be an entrepreneur and you'll be conducting business with the government, right? Suppliers and contractors, right? Yeah, you can still do that. And the good thing is that the government, through an executive order in 2022, required that all public procurement entities reserve 30% of their procurable budgets to the youth and women and persons with. So that is a whole field that you can still dive into and get help. And PPRA is really supporting the youth in this, and women. I can see youth and women here. Now, please forgive me if I call you a woman, and you still feel like you are youth. I didn't say you cannot be a young woman, isn't it? So in fact, you're better off, because if an entity asks for, they have reserved a certain gender for youth, you can apply. Tomorrow they ask for women, you still apply, right? So by women, sisemi wa mama wazee. I'm just saying women, females, right? Yeah. So when you see me hesitating, I'm trying to jump what the others had said. I don't want to concur, right? Yeah. So we've been told several times that our name is our number one asset, right? And your reputation is built by how you carry yourself in the public, and even in public procurement, we really look into the names. Like when you apply for a tender, we may not look at you as a person, but you're going to look at your entity. I mean your firm, right? And a firm is not a person. When we talk of corruption, we don't talk of a firm like a firm gave out a bribe, isn't it? It is the director of that firm that gave a bribe, right? Yeah, so those are the issues that may look so personal, yet even in the corporate world, they really matter. And like when public entities are buying, we want to see your historical performance as a firm, which means the directors of that firm, right? In terms of have you been engaged in corrupt practices, right? So when everybody is standing here and talking of reputation and your character, then you need to take it more seriously. So let's think. I want to give you an integrity challenge here. Let's discuss this. It's about integrity, unfair advantage, confidentiality, conflict of interest, and procurement ethics. Let's say I have already convinced you that you don't have to be employed and you have become an entrepreneur, right? You have a firm. And you know Starehe Boys are all over the place, right? So you have started a business and you realize that, let me just use my entity, the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. And Brian works there, right? See, yeye ni Starehe alumni. So you already know that you have an upper hand, right? So PPRA advertises for a tender and Brian tells you, I can help you with this information that is not in the bid document, right? So that you got undue advantage over your competitors, right? Atakwambia budget inasoma hivi. Haka kitu kanatoangwa hapa hivi unaweka hivi ndio win. That is Brian. Of course, Brian doesn't, he doesn't do that. But we're just giving an example. Of course, I can't give an example, a bad example using my name. So I had to pick Brian. So, what's your good name? Lewis. So Brian has offered to give you that information so that you can win the tender. So what do? You take the opportunity, you refuse the opportunity, or you take it quietly, or you ask your mentors here. Utafanyaje? Yes, siwe unataka tenda na umejua PPRA kuna tenda na Brian ulikuwa na yeye hii event, so you networked. Sasa amekupigia simu akakwambia kuna katenda hapa. When I was preparing the bid document, kuna tu vitu nilifichia mabeste. Siwe ni beste, nikwambie hivi direct hivi na hivi utawini hiyo tenda. Halafu tutaonana. So what do you do? It's not, but anyone can answer this. Yeah. There's a hand. You? What if you are assured that you won't get caught? That one, as long as he knows he won't get caught. Right? Any other person who... So that is your integrity that is at test, right? So, and I've heard that from several presenters. Let your values that you learned here never leave you, right? Because if when you are in Starehe, you picked some coins and you took to griefing, yeah? You cultivated that value. Why do you want now to do something under the table just because nobody will know? Does it make sense? Ama najiongelesha mnasema si ndio hivyo kunafanyika? Si ni hivyo maisha inaenda? I think it depends on your values, right? And we have talked about values several times. I don't think there is any speaker who hasn't talked about values. Please, even if you are not seen, this just something that should tell you that na unajua hiyo pesa by the way unaweza ipata ile siku utalipwa. Si Brian umempatia kati yake, things happen. Utapitia kwa pombe na ukunywangi pombe, usikie hiyo siku kuna nuka vizuri, you go there, you take all the money that you made, upeleke, na kulikuwa na ingine haikuwa ya hiyo deal, right? Useme nitakunywa tu mbili. Wasichana wa mchele ndio ndio hiyo pesa, it doesn't help anyone, right? Hata Brian ataenda na atapewa mchele kwenye ataenda, it doesn't help. Just try to eat what belongs to you, right? We have talked of the power of networks, and I won't repeat that. I concur. I concur, yeah. But as you do networking, ensure that your networking is all round, right? Don't just look for, yeah, do it this way, and this way, right? You need someone who is ahead of you, right? A mentor. You also need your peers, Because sasa mimi hata siwezi jua mahali advertisements zinafanyika, si ndio? Si nilishatoka hiyo area. But your peers will tell you, kuna hii kampuni nataka hivi. Nowadays I'm seeing a lot of jobs that are done online, LinkedIn, like that. So you also need to network across. And then we always get blessed when we do downwards. When you mentor someone, you also feel good. When you meet someone you mentored and they made it, isn't it? Kuna kako ka feeling, si ndio? So just try to let's have an all-round networking. A mentor, a challenger, a connector, a peer, and then a mentee. Now, when we were talking of your presence in the socials, I won't repeat, I also concur, but it's something that I won't forget. I want to give a story so that I concur properly. No, not properly, properly, right? There's a time I was asked for, a friend of mine wanted to employ in her company, right? She's in the beauty industry. Then she asked me for a contact that she could use, and I happily gave one. Yeah? Then she called this person. Si sasa ukipigiwa simu si Italia, kuna vile ringtone fulani, si ndio? Sasa ya huyu jamaa ringtone, skiza ringtone. I will repeat like I'm the phone. Hey, si mmegoja. True story. Ilikuwa inasema, Buddha, unanirausha hii asubuhi yote niende wapi? Yeah? Si mimi nikwambia mimi si msee wa asubuhi. Now, the most unfortunate thing is that it was in the morning. Na yeye si msee wa asubuhi. So, the phone rang for so long. So, this person was looking for somebody, listened to the whole thing, akasikia, Buddha, anapigia the wrong person. Right? So as Elishiba was telling you, whatever you put in your socials, even your hata simu vile inalia inasema the kind of a person that you are. Right? Sasa kama wewe Buddha si wa morning, feature weka chini ya maji kidogo, at least you get the job, and then you struggle to be a morning person. I'm not telling you weke chini ya maji alafu uende ukatoe hiyo character huko mbele utafutwa. Right? It is weka chini ya maji as you try to work on that negative. Yes. So you guys are very privileged. Kuna watu tu wali struggle wakaenda shule za chini kidogo, right? Now these guys, their network is down, right? You guys have a very strong network. Eh? Everybody who is standing here and saying I don't know, file number this, they are wako kule, si ndio? So how is that network? When you're networking with who is who, and when I network with my fellow mama mbogas, are we the same? Are we the same? No, we are not. We cannot be the same. With all due respect to mama mbogas, waniski, si ndio? Yeah. So this network that you're talking about will open doors for you. But remember, the network will open the door, but your character again will keep you in that room, isn't it? Or otherwise, right? Yeah. Time to skip some slide that I'm concurring with. So basically, that is what I would say. And then I have a small story, a short one, about myself. See, nimewambia mimi nilikuwa wa Starehe Boys in spirit. Yeah, my file, by the way, I can remember my file number. Yeah, KN. Sitasema hiyo ingine juu mnataka sasa mjue niliingia form 1 lini. Nikiingia nilitoka lini. Mtu akiingia form 1 anakuanga na 14, 13 years. So hadi hiyo upate ako na 57, 59, hivyo sisemi. As ladies, we are always 32. So if you do your maths and then it doesn't add up, utabaki kushangaa na mimi, isn't it? Yeah. Now, Mimi, I was born in another village within the boundaries of this nation. I know you want me to mention the village so that then you can know whether I'm green or yellow. I'm a civil servant. So no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. I am not green or yellow, and therefore I won't say my village. But just know that I was born in that village, hapa Kenya, right? And I was born in a family that was very big, like watoto wengi, right? So, and my parents were not employed, and they were not doing very well in business. So we were just there, struggling, right? And I mean, the struggle was real. But when you're in primary school, those early early years, you don't even know whether there is a struggle or not, right? When you come to realize there is some struggling, it looks like it's universal, like the whole village is struggling. So, si ni sawa. Kama hamuna viatu ni nyinyi wote. It was so contagious in the village, I mean. Poverty was contagious. My friends, I hate poverty. I hate poverty because poverty almost finished me. Kama sio Starehe, see, I don't know what would have happened, right? But miracles happen, because I've already told you that I couldn't join Starehe Boys, but somehow a destiny connector was brought our way, and that person met the man was working here, so he knew that girls could be sponsored wherever, but that information was not out there. So, and he was a very talkative man, and they were in a bus traveling with another villager, our neighbor. Then this neighbor says, the man tells the neighbor, if you have a student that is capable of performing very well, then you can take this form. They were yellow forms. Are we still doing the yellow form? Bado ziko yellow. Hii nilipenda kala yellow kutoka hapo. Whatever the yellow form did for me. So this neighbor said, now the student that I know that can perform excellently is unfortunately a girl. So I don't have to pick your form because it won't help anyone. The man told him, it was a lady. The man told the lady, our neighbor, just pick it and give it to her. If she qualifies, she will be sponsored wherever she will be admitted, and that is what we did. So I did very well. I was admitted to a national school, the Mary Hill Girls National. Yeah. Now more trouble started. Now the financial problem has ended somehow. But then the exposure, right? Now I'm dealing with another trouble here. I am a village girl. Yeah? I'm meeting girls from all over, and some of them are coming from very rich families. Nawaambia, juu mlikuwa Starehe si ni kama tunafanana watu wa Starehe Boys, in terms of financial status, silikuwa ni karibu kufanana. So you didn't have much trouble dealing with that. I wish you went to a national school that had rich girls, yeah? And then you're down there, and then your English is not Englishing because you're even from the village. You know, we suffered, but we had to overcome. And one thing that I was really fighting is the thought that I may not perform, right? So nothing could stop me from performing, because that was the only savior. That was the only thing that could get me out of that poverty, right? So I had to, even they used to call us names, now the rich girls. Of course, we were many who were down there, and we had names, the village names. We struggled. Now, those girls that were coming from the rich families, unfortunately, most of them didn't perform because their work was to correct the teachers when they said L instead of R. And of course, bullying us, fellow students. But as we only had one, we were so focused, so we had to make it. We did what we did, and we passed. We went to the university. Fortunately, when we went to the university, now we were able to get some form of mentorship from Starehe, right? because now at least we can, in fact, we came from a mentorship program here in Starehe. Yeah, that is when we started learning about, just trying to fix ourselves into the society. I want to cut the story short, so that bado yuko pale na ngoja. We finished university. We would come for money in that office for upkeep. Then, of course, we went our ways. Everybody went their ways, and I got a job. And my first job was a procurement officer. So when people heard that I have become a procurement officer, most of them said, "Wow, finally, atapata pesa." Kwa procurement kuna pesa, si ndio? Kwa sababu si mlisikia nani alisema so long as tutashikwa tunaweza endelea, si ndio? Yeah, but that did not happen, and it is not because I didn't have a chance to steal. I had several chances to kupita na hiyo pesa, but then again, values, right? One of the things that because Starehe came in, I had parents, right? They were so rich that the only thing they didn't have was money, right? I want to repeat that again. My parents were very rich. The only thing they didn't have was money, because the values they instilled in us are the values that have made me reach where I am. Kwetu unasikia tulikuwa hatuna pesa, but tulikuwa na bank kwa nyumba. Did you get that? In the kitchen tulikuwa tunapika na ile jiko ya mawe 3, 3 stones and then firewood, right? Sasa one of the hiyo mawe ilikuwa tunasongesha, tunaweka, haikuwa pesa nyingi, ni 2 coins. So ukifukuzwa that you don't have a pencil, we knew where to get the money, right? Even if you don't get your mother or your father, you go to the bank, you withdraw, and you could not withdraw more than the amount that is meant for a pencil, right? We all knew where the coins were. Haikuanga notes, ilikuwa bank tu ya ma coins. That is what we could afford in that bank. But I have never taken an extra shilling from there. My uncles would visit and they would give us some money, right? We knew that gift belongs to the bank, right? Yeah. So you go deposit your gift and then it becomes everybody's money. So that when my brother doesn't have a pen, they will go to the bank. Now tell me, how do I move from that value and then I go to a government office, become a procurement officer and start doing that? Is it possible? It's not possible. Because the values, I even tried, let me tell you the truth. I tried doing it, but it did not work. I was shaken the whole night, so I had to cancel. I had to cancel that thing, right? It cannot leave you. So the reason I'm saying this is especially for those men in red shirts. Whatever the values are being instilled now, they will never, you may want to leave the values, but the values will never, they will never leave you if you're serious. If you're serious with your life. So I don't know if I still have some minutes as the deputy. I've been given the privilege of another 5 minutes. So I want to talk to these young entrepreneurs. You said mulisema mutaki story ya job za gava. Entrepreneurs. I want to revert back to PPRA, right? As we have said, we are supporting the youth, we are supporting women, we are supporting persons with disabilities, so that you can have a level ground when you venture into business, when you want to trade with the government. Make use of that, and as you can, carry your values. Sawa, carry your values, because as we are saying the field is lucrative, it is also very slippery, right? Unaweza ingia kwa hiyo job, upatane na mtu atakupea pesa, and then it finishes you once, right? Yeah, venture into that, but come with your values. The values that are going to help you survive in public procurement. Sasa stand yetu iko pale. If there are any questions about PPRA, about EGP, as we have said, you remember we said that when mtu ataki kuna electronic government procurement, right? Kama uko na swali utatupata pale, tutakusaidia. If you are so busy with the other stands, you can just come and say hi, and then we will tell you where you can get us. Yeah, we are along Gong Road, Kisim Towers, 5th, 6th, 7th floor. With that, I wish to stop there, and thank you so very much. Asanteni.
Thank you.